Yeah. So if we come to this precedence rule for time shifting and time scaling, it tells us which operation to perform first, whether we need to perform time shift first or time scale first, provided both the operations are there in a signal. X of at is time scaling. Okay, x of t minus b is time shifting. So here only scaling is there, here only shifting is there. But if you see x of at minus b, you have scaling as well as shifting. Okay, so this precedence rule tells us, okay, which operation to perform first, whether scaling has to be done first or shifting has to be done first when both the operations are there in a signal. Understand that? Now, this is something that we need to follow. If it says no, you need to shift first, means we need to shift only. We are not supposed to scale first. It will not happen so, because the operation which has to be performed second, if it is performed first, we will get a wrong result. Understand that? That's why they're very clear in saying that. Fine. So if you have x of at minus b, fine, this should, whether it is minus b or plus b. See here, suppose if you have x of at plus or minus b, it could be plus b or minus b, shifting means. Understand? Then it should satisfy, it should satisfy the following conditions. Following conditions. Which conditions are these? Are this? That is, first condition is y of 0 has to be equal to x of b, and y of minus b by a should be equal to x of 0. Everybody understand that? So if you precedence rule tells us that which operation has to be performed first, and if you have a scaled and a shifted signal, then this signal should satisfy these two conditions. Okay, and these two conditions are satisfied. Understand this. The above conditions are satisfied only when shifting operation is done first. Understand this. Shifting operation is done first, followed by the scaling, followed by scaling. Understand that? So this is precedence rule. So precedence rule very clearly says that any signal which has got shift as well as scale, which has got shift as well as scale, should satisfy these two conditions. And for these two conditions to be satisfied, okay, the shifting operation needs to be performed first, then the scaling operation should follow that. Is that okay with you? Fine. So this is what the precedence rule is telling. So let's try understand this particular precedence rule by taking an example. Okay with that? So let's take an example. Fine. Consider, everybody take down this. Consider an example where we have shift and scale in the same signal. Consider an example y of n, or let's say y of t okay, given by x of 2t plus 3. Fine. And x of t is given to be this. Given y of t is x of 2t plus 3, and x of t is this, and x of t is this. So we are taking this as an example now for precedence rule. Okay, so this is 1 minus 1 plus 1, this is 0. Okay, this is t, this is x of t. So this is x of t. On x of t you need to perform x of 2t plus 3. So we have been told that these two conditions need to be fulfilled, and for these two conditions to be fulfilled, okay, shifting has to be performed first. Okay, so let's see if we perform shift first and then the scaling, these conditions are fulfilled or not. So let's see that now. Fine. So let's perform the shifting first. Okay, so everybody just copy it down. So we are going with the test. Okay, x of t is here. Fine. Then let's take that here. Let me write it properly. Yeah. Now this is your x of t. Okay, and this is 1 at t equal to 0. We have to perform shift first. So that means, what is the shifted signal? Can you tell me? What is the shifted signal here? X of t plus 3 is the shifted signal. Why? They are very clearly told, let's shift first. Okay, shifting first. So that is t plus 3 shifting. So t plus 3 means this is shifting. So this is shifting what operation? How we are shifting x of t? We are shifting it to the right, or we are shifting it to the left? It is t plus 3. Okay, so shifting is what we're doing. So what we're doing is shift x of t to the left by 3 positions or units or seconds. Okay, so the one which is starting at +1 should now start at where? So this is one shift, second shift, third shift. That means it should start at -2. See here, 0, -1, -2, -3, and -4. Okay, now the signal which is starting at +1, okay, should now start at where? So let's see the shift. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So this is where it should start, and this is how the signal should look like. Is it okay with you, everybody? This is x of t plus 3. Now this x of t plus 3 needs to be scaled. Okay, so this needs to be scaled. Gokul Krishna, you're there? Just for discussion's sake, because you asked that question. Now we are scaling x of t by 3 by a factor 2. You're there, Gokul Krishna? Can you respond? Gokul?
Yes.
Yeah, Gokul, respond, man, please. Yeah, see, now in this, we have shifted
Yes.
first, and now we are scaling the same signal. Now, everybody see here. Yeah, now scale this x of t plus 3 by a factor 2. What will you do? It is now ranging from -4 to -2. After you scale it by a factor 2, Whether it will compress or expand, tell me that first.
Compress.
It will compress. Compress by what factor? By factor 2, isn't it? So that means what would be the range of x of 2t plus 3? If the range of x of t plus 3 is -4 to -2, what is the range of x of 2t plus 3? How did we do it there? So this -t will divide by 2 and this -4 also you'll be dividing by 2. So that means now it would be ranging from where to where? Yeah, tell me.
-2
-2 to -1.
-1.
Yeah, that's it. So this is what the scaling is. Everybody understand that? So this is how this x of t plus 3 looks like after you scale it by a factor 2. Now this is what is x of 2t plus 3. Okay, so then scale by 2. Okay, so to obtain x of 2t plus 3. Now this is obtained. Now you need to check the conditions. What conditions do we need to check? Okay, verification we need to do. What we have obtained is here, but we still have to verify it. So let's verify using the precedence rule. Verification. Everybody listen here. We are verifying. Okay, so what verification we need to do? We need to verify these two. What is that? Let's just copy this. So these two conditions I need to check. Okay, and what is y here? See, y of t is this x of 2t plus 3. So this is your y of t. The final signal what we have obtained is your y of t. Understand? Now keep this signal. Okay, and what is y of 0? Can you tell me what is y of 0 here? Let's check the first condition. So these two conditions need to be checked for. Okay, so let's check first condition. This condition we shall check. What is y of 0? Can you tell me what is y of 0? This is y, this is y of t. Y of 0 is here. What is y of 0? Do you have any signal at y of 0? No.
0.
Y of 0 is 0. Y of 0 is 0. What is x of b? What is b and a here? A is 2, mind you. A is 2, b is 3 because it is x of at plus b. Okay, so that's why a is 2, b is 3. Okay, so now just tell me whether x of b is your y of 0. What is x of b there? What is x of b? X of b is x of 3. X of 3. What is x of 3 now? Where is it? See here, here is x of t. What is x of 3? It is ranging from -1 to +1 and 3 is somewhere here. Okay, and at x of 3 means at 3 we don't have x of t. So that means that is 0. So x of 3 is 0. That's why, therefore, y of 0 is equal to x of b. So this condition is true. Now let's check the second condition. What is that second condition? Y of minus b by a. What is minus b by a? That is y of minus 3 by 2. What is minus 3 by 2? It is y of minus 1.5. What is y of minus 1.5? Can you tell me now? Where is y of minus? This is -1, this is -2. In between -1 and -2, you have minus 1.5. So y of minus 1.5. Can you tell me what is y of minus 1.5? It is 1. Y of minus 1.5 is 1. And what is x of 0? What is x of 0? X of 0 is also 1. Why? See here, this is your x of t, and x of t at t equal to 0 is x of 0, and that is also 1. Understand that? So x of 0 is 1. So therefore, y of minus b by a is actually equal to x of 0. So this condition is also true. So what we have got here as the answer, x of 2t plus 3 is correct. So this is how we do that. So this is the verification that we need to do. Okay. And if these two are correct, then what we obtained is right. And why these two are correct? Because we shifted first, we obtained x of t plus 3 first, and then we scaled that x of t plus 3 by a factor 2 to obtain x of 2t plus 3. Is that understood, everybody? So let's take another example on this precedence rule. Everybody take down this. This is example number 1. Example number 1 for precedence rule. So let's take example 2 for precedence rule. Everybody just copy it down. Example 2 for precedence rule. Fine. Just take down this. Yeah, this is the second problem with precedence rule employed. Okay, x of n is given to be this, and you have to sketch y of n, which is the time shifted and scaled version of x of n. Fine. So let's do that, and for doing that we need to have x of n first. So let's have x of n sketched. Everybody do this if you have not done. Those who have done, just observe whether you have done it correct or not. So let's take x of n. Okay, x of n is given to be what? It's 1 over 1 to 3. It's 1 for 1 to 3. That means for n equal to 1, for n equal to 2, for n equal to 3, it is 1. And it is minus 1 for n equal to minus 1, minus 2, and minus 3. So this is what is x of n given as. Fine. So this is 1, this is minus 1. And it is 0 at n equal to 0. And for n greater than, for magnitude n greater than 3 means what? It means magnitude n greater than 3 means it is, implies it is n greater than 3, and for n less than minus 3. It is the meaning of that. Okay, so for n greater than 3, let me write that. So that is 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. For n greater than 3, and for n less than 3, it's all zeros. Understand that? Now let's go on with the shift first. What shift we need to have? We need to have x of n minus 2. What is x of n minus 2? Anybody? Which operation is that? It's scale or shift. X of n minus 2. It's a shift operation. So what type of shifting we are doing in x of n minus 2? What are we doing? So x of n minus 2 is shifting x of n to right by how many positions? By 2 positions. Okay, so the signal which is starting at minus 3 would now start at minus 1. That means, so this will shift here and again shift here. So that means, see here, you will have the sample at minus 3 coming at minus 1, the sample at minus 2 coming at 0, the sample at minus 1 coming at plus 1. So this is what? then you have no sample, then you have 3 samples. So how is this? This is -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is how the signal is going to look like. Okay, so this is a little wider. These samples are with a little greater gap in between. So you just see this. This is sufficient. Okay, so to understand this is sufficient. So now the signal which was ranging from -3 to +3 now would range from -1 to +5 because we have shifted it by 2 positions to the right. Okay, so this is shifting. Now let's scale this. So after scaling, how is this supposed to look like? Okay, let's just extend this y-axis vertically down. Okay, and let's scale it by a factor 2, that is x of 2n minus 2. Now when we are scaling it by a factor 2, what did I say? The sample at -1 should come at 0.5. So that means this is gone. The sample at 0 should be at 0. The sample at 0 should be at 0. The sample at 1 should come at what? It should compress means it should come at 0.5, but 0.5 is not there. So this is also gone. This is also vanished. The sample at 2 should come at 1. The sample at 2 means at 2 we have 0. So that 0 will come at 1 now. This is 0. The sample will come at 1. The sample at 3 will come at 1.5. 1.5 is not there. That is gone. The sample at 4 should come at 2. The sample at 4 should come at 2. So this is what it is. This is how it is going to look like. And the sample at 5 should come at 2.5. 2.5 is not there. So that sample is also lost. Okay. So this is what x of 2n minus 2 looks like. Now let's verify. Let's verify now. Fine. So what is that verification? So whatever we did with continuous time should be done with discrete time also. That means first is y of 0 should be equal to x of b. Okay, and this is your y of n, mind you. What is y of, and the second condition is what? Second condition is y of minus b by a should be equal to x of 0. So these two conditions we should check for. Fine. Now what is y of 0? Here is y. Here is y. What is y of 0? Y of 0 is -1. Okay. So y of 0 is -1. What is x of b? What is b here? B is 2. A is also 2. A is also 2. And b is also 2. So what is x of b? That is x of 2. X of b, that is x of 2 equal to, what is it equal to? Where is x? X is here. So x of 2 is equal to 1. X of 2 is equal to 1. So what's happening here? X of 2 is equal to 1, or x of b. Yeah, x of -2, is it? So b is -2. Sorry, b is -2. It's not 2. We need to consider the sign here. Very sorry, huh? We need to consider the sign. It is -2. So that means x of -2. So what is x of -2, everybody? X of -2 is -1. So x of 2 is also x of -2 is also -1, and y of 0 is also what? -1. So this is 1. You're not correcting me. I've been doing mistakes, but you don't seem to be correcting me. See, I'll explain it again. Okay. So y of 0 is -1. It's clear here. Then x of b is x of -2, and that is also -2 means what is x at -2? That is also -1. Okay, so x of, therefore y of 0 is equal to x of b. So that means the first condition is true. Okay, now let's do it for second verification. Y of minus b by a. Y of minus b by a means y of -2 by a. A is 2. So that means it is y of 1. Isn't it? What is y of 1? Y of 1 is 0. Okay. And what is x of 0? What is x of 0? X of 0 is also 0 because there is no sample at n equal to 0. Understand that? So x of 0 is also 0. So therefore, what did we do? We proved that y of minus b by a is actually equal to x of 0. The second condition is also true. That means what we have got is correct. So this is how we can sketch x of 2n minus 2 using precedence rule, which tells us that first you perform shift operation, and on the shifted signal you perform scaling operation.